and welcome to Fresh Face Comics, the comic book podcast where a lifelong comic book reader guides his friends through the world of comics for the first time. My name is Joey Morgan, the aforementioned lifelong reader. With me as always is Jacob Licklider, the aforementioned newbie.
I can't tell who's worse, Wally West in this book or Tara.
And
that's saying something.
I think I still firmly say Wally. But this debate is, of course, up once again because today we are continuing our New Teen Titans coverage with New Teen Titans Volume 5. This is issues, what is it? Issues, 28 through 34. Yeah. 28 through 34 and annual number 2 of the New Teen Titans by Marv Wolfman and George Perez. And at the end of this current little Teen Titans block we're moving into other things next time. So, as always, to join us for our Teen Titans coverage, we have returning guest Andrew.
Hello.
Welcome back, as always. Very excited to jump right into this today. I guess we'll do just that. Let's start off with our non-spoiler section. As always, Jacob being the new reader, what is the New Teen Titans Volume 5 about?
Can I be honest? This volume, in terms of narrative, is weird because when it comes to this run, right? There are some things that have just kind of entered pop culture osmosis, like the fate of one Dick Grayson around this time. And we're setting that up kind of like...
They definitely knew what they wanted to do with him at this point, yeah.
Like, if I had to say anything about this volume as a whole, it's that Wolfman and Perez are really trying to push their characters forward and get them to grow up, like, in their own way. Even the asshole that he is, Wally West.
I fucking knew you were going to say Wally.
Like, even Wally, like, yeah, he's trying to grow up. I don't think that'll really happen until post-Crisis, and he's off the team, and he's no longer Kid Flash. But I mean,
are you saying that Barry Allen needs to get fridged in order for Wally to have character development? I mean, you're right. If that's what you're saying, you're absolutely right.
I wouldn't call it fridging. Does it count as fridging? Does the death of Barry Allen count as fridging? I don't think so.
It just might. It is specifically there to elicit character development for Wally. More on that another time.
Yeah, it's last when we cover Crisis on Infinite Earths and the actual fridging.
You bring really interesting that Tara is here in this volume. We get a proper introduction, a full introduction rather, for Tara. She was a little bit in the last volume, but here she is in full. Tara is a character that you definitely know things about already.
I was reading in a certain Ashley Johnson voice, but not the voice she gives the character in the Teen Titans show.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you could easily imagine it was just regular Ashley Johnson voice.
I was kind of going with Ellie, you know the voice she does with when she does the ads for as Gale. Like,
really, Gale? Come on, no way. No way.
That's where my brain went for some reason.
Dragons, really? That voice?
Drag me with a spoon. I feel like Tara would say
justice, bitch. Like that exact line delivery.
I mean, it's still got to be Ashley Johnson though, because
yeah, totally.
I mean, not the only actress to play the character I know, because there is a Judas Contract film that I have not watched.
It certainly exists.
It's okay.
Okay is a word for it.
For sure.
It is. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. More on that. We'll definitely cover that as adapted material when we do eventually get to the actual story, though.
In 2 volumes' time, when we get to the actual story.
We're getting there.
I'm genuinely surprised how much of the Judas Contract is already set up by the end of this volume. Kind of surprised me that certain cards are being played early.
For that reason, I do think it's kind of weird how often Judas Contract is sometimes touted as a starting point for Teen Titans reading, because the setup for, I mean, if you want to say that, sure, I would almost like include like a lot of issues here as like part of that, almost like as part of the lead up to it. I don't know. I think you would probably need to start from the start of New Teen Titans personally, but which is why I had you start from the beginning, of course. But anyway, shall we get into some Blue Sky questions?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Getting into Blue Sky. Let's start off with our friend Kian at Kian the Quark at bluesky.social says Cyborg ? With a picture of Lytton from Doctor Who Attack of the Cybermen, half converted into a Cyberman. Keen also says, am I allowed to make Judas Contract jokes yet? And I said 2 volumes yet. We're getting there. Don't worry.
We're getting there.
Yeah. We also have a question from our friend Jamie at Jamie-season7.bluesky.social. Finally joining us over on Blue Sky, says, why did he run into a wall? Is he stupid? Referring, of course, to the cover of this volume where Wally West is clearly running into a wall. And you're right. You're absolutely right. Wally West is stupid.
Yeah, he's actually quite.
Is this podcast turning into the Wally West hate podcast? Is that what's happening?
I don't want it to, because I don't hate. Here's the thing. I also don't hate Wally. Like,
I hate this Wally.
I find this Wally fascinating in a lot of ways, but also
I too find Midwestern conservatives fascinating.
But also, like, kind of just dumb in a lot of ways. Like,
he is. He's very dumb. He's a stupid boy. And then final question, because we didn't get too many for this one. But also, if you are listening and you want to submit questions, still we post Q&As over on Blue Sky now, so go join us over on Blue Sky. I'm at JoeMoblaDonuts.bluesky.social. You're at Newt5996.bluesky.social. So submit questions there. We do them not long before. We're doing them a little bit ahead of schedule right now because the holidays coming up. So, but anyway, our final question comes from our friend Rules Panda at JoeyCanReadThis.bluesky.social. Says, so, which Titan would be played by which Muppet? Okay,
I feel like this is because I rewatched the Muppet Christmas Carol recently.
That's possible. Okay, so Kermit's definitely Dick. Easy. I think by definition that makes Starfire Miss Piggy, obviously. I think we've got Animal for Beast Boy. I think we've got, for me at least, I thought Gonzo could be a great Wally in this case.
No, Rizzo's Wally.
Wally. You know what? Yeah, that's fair.
Rizzo's Wally.
Yeah. Fozzie, I think, would make for a good cyborg. I did struggle a bit with Donna and Raven, though.
Here's the thing. I think Donna could be Gonzo. I suppose.
And
the gender doesn't work out for Raven, but Uncle Deadly could be Raven.
Here's the problem also, is there aren't many prominent female Muppets.
That is certainly a problem.
That does make this kind of tough for a team that is pretty much split down the middle, gender-wise. And I guess that's not even including Tara. But yeah.
Tara can be, I don't know, one of the pigs that, like, they try to introduce whenever they want to create tension between Kermit and Piggy.
Yes, absolutely. Oh man, I think that was our best Teen Titans question so far. I love that. All right. With all that out of the way, I think we shall cut short this fairly short non-spoiler section and jump into some spoilers.
Yes.
Yeah. Consider this your official spoiler warning. If you're not sticking around for spoilers, you can check out what episode. Actually, no. You know what episode we're covering next time already. We announced our DC blocks previously. So we're covering Suicide Squad stuff next time. We're getting back into John Ostrander's Suicide Squad. We're covering volumes 3 and 4 across the next 2 episodes. That'll be the volume Rogues and the volume called Judas. Not Judas Contract.
Janus Directive.
The Janus Directive. Too much Judas Contract.
I have also made that mistake in my mind. I'm like, wait, no. Judas Contract is
the J something insert name for a I don't know, some kind of operation. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, so Rogues and the Jadis Directive, and then after that, there's more DC stuff on the way. So that'll also take us into next year. Suicide Squad Volume 3 will be our last episode of the year. That comes out on the 30th, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
So
Very near the end.
Yeah, Suicide Squad Volume 4 will be our first episode of 2025. Absolutely insane. So excited about that. Be on the lookout for Q&As on Blue Sky and all that, and we will we'll have those out on time as always. I think that does it. Let's jump into our spoiler section. Again, consider this your official spoiler warning. We're going to get into this with the new Teen Titans, number 28.
Introducing Tara. Is she friend or foe?
Is she, Jacob? Tell me.
She would never be a Judas. No.
She would never. Jacob, that's such a specific phrasing for your feelings on her.
Look, okay. Here's the thing. Throughout this volume, here's the thing. Actually, no, I'm going to say it out front. This is probably my favorite volume so far. Like, really I love this thing.
Really fucking good. Yeah, it's so good.
Like, 10 out of 10 volume. But Tara is the worst, and like intentionally so.
Yeah, that's definitely the point. And let's also say, because when we talk about Tara as a character, it can be kind of hard to talk about it, without knowing the thing that everybody kind of knows about her character. However, we can talk about that kind of spoiler thing within the context of what this volume reveals. So jumping way ahead, just so we can clear up what we're able to talk about in this spoiler section, it is revealed in this volume that Tara is actually working for Deathstroke. So
yes,
there's that. So we'll be definitely alluding to that multiple times throughout this spoiler section. But yeah, that's as far as we'll actually be discussing as far as that goes. So, all right, getting into this. First off, great cover. I do like that it's the cover of the volume. I do kind of think actually that the annual cover would make a better volume cover personally.
Yeah, but
I love that annual cover, man. It's so fucking good.
Well, here's the thing. This is also the second time this book has been printed, because like at one point these issues were collected in like a volume called Terra Incognito. Like I think DC published this and then a version of Judas Contract. Which there's a whole volume in between these two, but
yeah.
And a volume that I think actually does some stuff that I imagine is important for context for Judas Contract.
Yeah, and also nowadays when they collect Judas Contract, they include issues from what is considered Volume 6 in this lineup of collections. So, we're technically getting into Judas Contract whenever we do get back to Teen Titans already, with Volume 6, but
not the story proper.
Yeah. Actually getting into the issue. Let's kind of pick up once again with Beast Boys looking into Tara herself, who is robbing a bank, and he's trying to stop her.
And she's just so sorry that she has to steal this money and like not let Beast Boy help her.
What an insane mask this early version of the character has.
Here's the thing. I like Tara's design with longer hair, the like short cut that they give her.
What, you mean the one that she never has in the comics?
Yeah, because this is a wig in this costume, because when she pulls off the mask, she has the short hair already.
Yeah, but like the long hair, long hair is better character design, guys.
Are you saying you disapprove of Karen cut rights?
Yeah, I do actually.
Well, you're right. So do I. So anyway, she's so sorry that she has to rob this bank, and she punches Beast Boy in the face and goes on her way. And we're also flipping back and forth between that and the Church of Brother Blood, where we're
in the nation of Zandia.
Yes. Totally real place. The Church of Brother Blood is under attack now by the Brotherhood of Evil, who are returning
Yeah.
from way back from our Doom Patrol crossover, back in what, Volume 2?
Can we talk about how insane this book is? Like, I guess we could call this a Doom Patrol crossover because they're primarily Doom Patrol villains.
Yeah, but also Doom Patrol definitely didn't have a book at the time, so like they were pretty much brought over to this book as Teen Titans villains.
Yeah, as Titans villains, which is very fun. And it's like, okay, what do they want with Brother Blood's church? Like, don't get me wrong.
Jacob, can't you tell? The Brotherhood of Evil wants you all dead. That is simple motive, Jacob. Come on.
It's a great motive, and like, there's some great body horror here.
Yeah, there is. Yeah,
like, like you have Plasmus who like just burns them and consumes people. Like it's kind of dark.
yeah.
But it
But
also
that's an important right now though, because over in New York, Donna and Corey, who I continually forget live together,
they share an apartment. It's great. They're friends.
Yeah, friends. So Donna is going out with Terry tonight, and Dick is coming over to see Corey, and Dick and Corey decide to spend the night in, and Donna goes on her way, leaves them alone. There's just some nice little scenes of like, just a great scene to like, I don't know, show the domestics of these characters. Like, I don't know, I just like seeing
scenes that the last volume, I don't want to say was missing, but it was like kind of lacking on for good reason.
The characters hardly had any time to breathe last volume with the giant space opera in the middle.
This is true.
Well, I think there's a reason that those last two issues last time felt like such a nice change of pace, because it was, I mean, there was still, serious shit going on, but it was still like this kind of a step back in a way. So I don't know. I think it works. But anyway, we get some more than Beast Boy hunting down Tara. He is able to
quite literally carrying her off, like not at all. Yeah, like not at all. Gar, that's kidnapping.
But she's robbing a bank, so she's technically a bad guy. Or I guess actually a bad guy if we think of it. I don't know. Anyway. So Gar kidnaps a woman. But that's not important because Dick and Corey gotta be kind of edgy right now. Really it's Dick being kind of on edge and Corey looking out for him. And it's nice. It's a nice little scene, and Dick kind of like pushes her off.
He's going to go and specifically talk to Adrian Chase about looking into Brother Blood's connections. With one Bethany Snow. It's a lot of this issue is oddly enough a lot of setup.
Because I don't think, if I'm remembering correctly, I don't think the Titans even encounter the Brotherhood of Evil throughout this whole issue. Actually, no, the Brotherhood of Evil doesn't even show up again in this issue, right? I don't think they show up again until next issue.
Yeah, they don't. Like, the rest of this is getting our characters in place. We have to set up some stuff with Raven, who is in a trance, and
God, imagine just doing that with your characters these days. Like, I don't know. I just can't imagine many there are certainly comics that do this, but hardly any comics would just like take the time to just like say like, hey, we're just going to take an entire issue to just understand our characters and like where they're at in their personal lives right now.
I mean, the latest no.
No, you're wrong. I know you're going to say Uncanny. No, the latest Uncanny still did not do that.
Still didn't fully do it. It got close. Also, it may not be the latest Uncanny at the time of this episode's release.
It's definitely not.
Yeah.
We're talking about issue number 6 of the latest Uncanny X-Men.
Yes. Yay for recording things in advance.
This is your fault.
Yeah, like Wally is being Wally and is
I like that all you have to say is Wally is being Wally.
Okay, it's genuinely compelling that he's struggling between life as a superhero and life as a student. Like, I get it.
Hasn't that also been like his entire struggle since like the very first volume, though?
That has been his struggle, and It's the problem of
He doesn't
Perez.
move. He doesn't move. He doesn't do anything. He's just there.
You see, the character who can go the fastest is actually the most indecisive.
That
That's
is what we call in the business irony.
yes, it is. I genuinely think that that's what Wolfman and Perez are going for, and I kind of like it. Also, I'm like,
No, come on. They clearly have
They
too many
just don't
characters
like
to juggle.
him.
What was that, Andrew?
Sorry, I was saying I think they just don't like Wally. They're just like, I
Yeah.
guess we got to do something with them.
Exactly. Why is he even here? I mean, he's not going to be for in not terribly long from now. But like, why is he here? Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so Gar brings Terra to Titan's Tower, and she tries to make a run for it, and Wally literally makes her lose all oxygen. Just like fucking knocks her out by
Wally, that is torture.
depriving her of oxygen. What the fuck is this scene?
And Cyborg has to come in being the voice of reason.
Oh my god. Amazing. Although then also Cyborg is also the one that then like has to like lift this kid up by the back of her costume. She then is able to use her earth bending powers to begin to escape. But Wally knocks her out then. So once again Wally is torturing this woman.
And then we get some of Terra's tragic backstory.
Yes. She unmasks herself and tells them her tragic backstory. Not all of it, because we're gonna get more of that next time, actually. But begins telling her that she's being forced to rob this bank and that she's actually innocent.
That terrorists are threatening to kill her family. She's also almost 16.
Yes.
This is important to remember.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. Anything you want to say about that, Jacob?
Maybe later.
I can't wait to watch the Judas Contract movie with you. Can we watch that one together?
Maybe, if we can get our schedules to align.
Believe me, it's worse. Anyway.
What, did they make her like 12?
No, they just... You'll see.
Oh.
You'll see. I'm not going to say... No, you'll see. Anyway, so Donna goes to see Terry, and Terry is unfortunately talking to... Oh, what's up? Did I miss something?
She meets his ex-wife.
Yes.
She meets his ex-wife, which...
speaking of Karen cuts...
well, here's the thing. This is some of the most fascinating stuff in the issue on it. It's fascinating. This is the fascinating stuff in the issue because, like, it's... we treat this scene like adults. Like...
Yeah, it's nice.
Like, Terry has an ex-wife.
Mm-hmm. She's kind of a vindictive bitch. But I suppose that's to be expected. She kind of uses this opportunity to make Terry feel bad about him dating Donna. Because this moment where like Terry's kid comes out and like she's like drawing her dad and all that. And like this really gets under Donna's skin. And so she leaves. But again, like you're right. Like, it is just it's handled. It's characters handling these things like adults, and it's just again another nice scene that's really great to see. I don't know. I love that. We then also get
the Titans going after the terrorists, keeping Terra's parents hostage.
We have to say everything in quotations. The terrorists going after Terra's parents. But yeah, they go after these guys, and
surprise, they're actually dead.
Yes, and you said that so anticlimactically. But that's where the issue. That's where the issue ends. Then
it's not anticlimactic. It's a great ending, and there's great emotions. Problem is, and it's not really a problem. It's the problem that I already know that Terra is a Judas. Like,
again, what a specific way to word your thoughts on her.
Everybody knows the thing about Terra is that
you know nothing, Jacob. Nothing has been spoiled for you at all. She's not a major focal point of a very popular early 2000s cartoon. Not at all.
No, not at all.
No. No, it is a nice ending though. Like again, if you didn't know anything, you had quite
Which-
a few months of like Tara being a genuinely sympathetic character here.
Yeah.
Like because it's a great moment where she finds out her parents are dead and she begins crying and she like falls into Gar's arms and like it's a great ending. I really love that. And then also there's this hint of something more when Raven says the girl must be frightened. She says she feels so alone. Yet why do I sense something else? Why? And that is where the issue ends. Great ending. Takes us wonderfully into the New Teen Titans number 29. First off, Brotherhood of Evil on the cover, but also Speedy. Love to see that. So great.
Roy Harper, you
Roy
dick.
Fucking what? My love, Roy Harper. I love him. I'm in love with him. What a great first page of this issue. I don't quite know how to describe it as well as it is presented here. If you guys don't know it, look up the first page of the New Teen Titans number 29. It's fucking amazing. It's such a great first page.
So many skulls.
Brother Blood is standing, crouching atop a giant pile of skulls that are centered in a pit of fire in his underground lair. It's an amazing first page. I love it. It's
specifically drawn so that he also looks like his mask is a skull mask, like
yes,
like more than it had been in the last volume.
Yes,
somehow.
amazing. So good. Brother Blood is informed of the threat to his church by the Brotherhood of Evil. And that's about where that. Oh yeah. Then we see their massacre of a bunch of Brother Blood's followers from the Brotherhood. They're contacted by their masters, Zibrain. And oh god, I love it. I wish they were in this volume more, to be honest.
Yeah, I was expecting more Mala and Brain, but like a little bit we get is fun.
But we have the Brotherhood taking on. Wait, we have the Brotherhood taking on Brother Blood's cult, which I guess could also be called a Brotherhood because they're under a brother. It's weird. Anyway,
and they wear hoods.
That's true. They do wear hoods. Fuck, the conspiracy goes so deep.
No, but also, Brotherhood of Evil wants Raven. It's like, yes. Okay, that's weird. It's gonna get weirder.
Yeah. But Jacob, we don't have time for any of that because we have to have a giant page of George Perez drawing sexy shirtless, sweaty Dick Grayson lifting weights and doing acrobat shit. Look at that page. Speaking of amazing first couple pages of an issue, look at that fucking page. My God.
Mainly because he's trying to do stress relief.
What was that, Andrew?
Oh, sorry. I was just saying he's wearing nothing but bright pink underpants either.
It's true.
And people are wondering where we got the Disco Wing suit from.
Exactly. This is what Perez and Wolfman always wanted. I just gotta say, me and Jacob both had shitty days today, and I'm loving our conversation so far. I just want to point that out.
This is why it's fun to record after a shitty day. We always make ourselves feel better.
I suppose. Are you telling me I should force myself to have a shitty day every time we're gonna
record? No, that's bad for your physical and mental health.
I don't know, Jake. I can make that happen. It's very easy.
No, but I do actually want to talk about this scene between Dick and Donna because, like,
yes,
injected into my veins. It's I don't know.
What's this?
I find it fascinating
about each other.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of surprised Wolfman especially pulls it off. Especially in like early-ish 1980s. I think this is still like 82, 83.
Yeah.
Probably 83 based on 83. This is just a friendship between a guy and a girl, and it's like there isn't any sexual tension. Like,
I mean,
mind you, this is a situation where there should be
the restraint. But no, you're right. You're absolutely right, and it is also just Donna being genuinely caring for her friend here. She can tell that Dick is on edge. There are some wonderful thought bubbles afterwards about like what Dick must be going through, and the
fact that Dick is trying to be the Batman even though he cannot be the Batman.
Yeah, this is what I think a lot the runs does start. This is I think we're really starting to do our Nightwing setup in that like the focus on Dick's angst does come a lot from his relationship with Batman and not specifically from his relationship with the team, which I think is also smart because it makes Dick's frustrations not this sort of like artificial character drama. It is something outside of their control, I think. So it's it's very smart, I think. It's good stuff. But Donna's thoughts, like, begin to like blend into her own on Terry and everything that happened last night.
It's this great, I'm going to be putting my friends before myself and nothing wrong can happen by doing that.
Absolutely. We get some more Wally and Raven scenes, and Wally is like, Raven, I love you. And Raven's like, fuck off, as she should. Then we get more Brotherhood scenes. They are going to begin
teleporting their way to try to capture Raven.
Yes.
And yeah, it's a bit ridiculous that they just find an island in the mid-Atlantic like that they teleport to. It's hilarious. It's great. I love it.
They get another great scene between Corey and Donna that does not pass the Bechdel test because they're talking about their relationship troubles. I mean,
okay, let's be honest. We've passed the Bechdel test enough with these characters multiple times with these characters. We're okay to fail it at least once.
That's fair. Side note: I rewatched the BTAS episode Harley's Holiday recently. There are multiple scenes that pass the Bechdel test in that. I don't know. I just found that fascinating. Joker doesn't even get mentioned once in that episode. It's fucking insane.
It's almost like Harley Quinn as a character works when she's not the Joker's lackey.
Totally.
Or works best.
Harley's Holiday also just has some of the best Paul Dini dialogue of all time. Like, I adore it. Anyway, but yeah, Donna tells Corey to just give Dick some space for now. Things he'll work it all out, and this sort of like inspires Donna to get sort of start to deal with her own relationship trouble. She goes to see Terry, but once again we're flipping back and forth between this and the Brotherhood taking on
which
more.
Somehow, again, mind you, I think like we're still in a random island. Where are we at this point? This is the problem.
I don't know.
Have we made it to America, or are we still on an island in the mid-Atlantic?
I don't know. How far spread is the church / cult of Brother Blood?
International, obviously.
Obviously. Anyway, let's catch up with another not long lost, but another character we've not seen in a while in this book. This is
someone who could be a much more interesting love interest for one Wally West.
I know, it's almost like this character that we're about to reintroduce could do great things for the lackluster Wally West, and she still doesn't. She's good on her own. I like Frances, but whatever.
And then we get Roy.
Not
being able to read the room, Mr. Steele Dick's girl.
I mean, shit, Dick's not doing anything with her, at least not at the moment. I love Roy Harper. I will defend anything he does ever. I really, I don't know. Even what?
I don't know. Even some of the
I will defend his drug addiction if you want. I'll defend his drug addiction. That's fine.
We're losing this, guys.
Oh man. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So Roy is here. There's an immediate dick measuring contest between Dick and Roy when they're face to face again. Meanwhile, we're gonna catch up with Brother Blood once again, as he is met by one of his followers.
Bethany Snow.
Or Bethany Snow, yeah. I mean, as if it's really a shock, but it's still a really great twist. I don't know. I love it.
It is, again. There's so much of these issues are let's juggle as many plot points as we can, and they juggle them really well. Like,
I forget. They still don't. Oh no, they only start encountering the Brotherhood of Evil at the very end of this issue.
Yeah.
Again, most of it's domestics, just finding out what our characters have been up to.
We get an obligatory Tara scene who she wants to be left alone.
Who's so angsty.
Which
Love
again,
it.
if I didn't know the twist, it would be it's a fantastic scene. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Um,
Beast
I
Boy's
do,
trying to
I do
comfort
like
her, but like
I do like
she
how
wants to be left alone.
I do like how Roy Harper spends most of his scenes in this issue just like sitting in the background, just watching the team be angsty at each other, and just like, hey, you guys got some shit to deal with, don't you? He's just back here eating a sandwich while this argument between Beast Boy and Tara is going on. It's just really funny, I think.
You've got one friend who will come into your house, eat all your food, and then leave.
Exactly.
Yes.
He literally is. He literally is. And I love him for it. Roy Harper can do no wrong. Anyway, then it is time for Tara leaves for now. She's angry, so she runs off. Meanwhile, we have a new friend coming to Titan's Tower in the form of Francis Kane.
Way back in Volume 3.
Yeah, from that one issue story that I don't know. I still think is really good from Volume 3.
Fantastic story. But yeah, it's like she's got her powers back, and she's got scared, so she had you Wally. And then immediately, Roy Harper can't stop flirting with anything that moves.
Roy Harper is right to do this. Anyway.
And Wally gets to be kind and brings her inside, and they're gonna have hot chocolate while Vic is going off to
the home of Adrian Chase, who is doing some work right now. They're waiting around with Adrian's family, his wife and his 2 kids. His son is playing with Batman and Superman action figures, and I like to think there's just some heinous, angsty 60s Peter Parker ass inner monologue inside Dick Grayson's head right now.
I mean, it's especially funny because at this point, Jason Todd exists.
Yes.
Like, he's going to show up later, and it's great for the 2 pages he shows up in.
Yeah. But yeah, Adrian then goes to meet with them and begin talking to Robin. But we're also cutting back and forth between this and Frances going to talk to Wally again, showing how her powers have developed in the time since we last saw her.
How they scare her, but then Brotherhood of Evil shows up.
Yes, the Brotherhood of Evil shows up. There's no time to think about Frances or whatever the hell else is going on because we have to fight the Brotherhood. And there's a man with a fetish.
Are we going to bring it up? Are we going to bring up the one line?
I said there's a man with a fetish. You know what I said. You heard me.
So
fetish is taking the Wally too.
Yes.
So I looked into this.
Yes, I do need to know because I did not care enough to look it up. It was just funny every time it came up.
So, okay.
Tell me all about fetishes, Jacob.
God, okay.
Whatever you say, I will tell you it's not going to register with me, and I'm just going to keep laughing.
It isn't because it's the secondary definition in the dictionary,
as it should be.
The primary definition is for a sexual fetish, but a fetish is an inanimate object worshipped for its supposed magic powers, or because it's considered to be inhabited by a spirit.
Mm-hmm. So we get such wonderful lines as Kid Flash, good, I came prepared. My fetish is already programmed to your cell type. A single touch with my computerized needle and science and sorcery work as one.
So you mean to tell me he plays with his needle when his fetish is activated?
Yes! Yes, I love it. Oh my god. Anyway, time to fight the Brotherhood. That is the bulk of the rest of the issue. Actually, that's literally just the rest of the issue.
There are still some great moments. Francis gets involved, which is great. Speedy gets to show off some stuff.
Yeah, like the king
is forced to relive his pains of withdrawal from drug addiction, which is dark and
really,
and Raven starts to lose it at the end.
Yeah, and this scares Wally, and Wally seems to think that Raven is still possessed with her father, and so he tells her to go away. Raven goes away, and that's the end of the issue.
I mean, here's the thing. It's terrible for Raven, but it's maybe a great way to get him off her back. Like,
yeah. If we have to cut off the really awkward and forced love subplot in this way, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Also, like, let's be honest, Raven up to this point has been written as like textbook asexual. Like,
oh yeah, pretty much.
in some ways, maybe slightly problematically so. Well, it's the whole.
Okay, well here, I'll say certain later things kind of go against that, but
there's a reason I said up to this point.
Yeah.
Which not to say I don't think she should have romantic interest. I think she has potential. I also think like her I need to control my emotions is I don't want to say it's a tired plot. It's a plot. It's a plot that is kind of stock for a character like this almost. It's done very well.
I mean, everyone loves a Mr. Spock, you know. It's great.
You're not going to reference next gen now that you're in that era. Okay.
Look, Spock is the fucking gold standard for that plot line.
This is true.
Like, yeah, he just is. Also, tragic ending. And what a lovely cover that follows it. It's such a sweet cover. It is Terra joins the Titans cover. It's her using her powers. The Titans all like adoring her around this mound of earth that she has created. There's also a little green koala bear in the form of Beast Boy. It's just a really nice cover. But we have to pick up immediately with the trauma we dealt with last time, because Wally is obviously not okay. And there's still the Brotherhood.
Yeah, we should have explicit. But Raven made the Brotherhood of Evil live their worst nightmares and kind of mind fucked them.
Yeah.
And Fran is outright telling Wally, "Why don't we go home? We can run away. This would be fine. Leave the Titans." And Wally's like,
"We should go away, Wally. We should really leave right now. We should leave the Titans forever. We should go. Isn't that right, Marv Wolfman and George Perez? We should go."
Speedy's also like, "Hey, yeah, like you could also do what I do and become reserve status. Like,
not
you
a
don't
bad
need
idea.
to be. It's like you don't need to be here, Wally."
It's so funny how Wolfman and Perez keep bringing up ways to write out Wally, and they just can't fully commit to it for some reason.
Well, I mean, far be it from me to complain about the editorial decisions. Why do I have the feeling this might be an editorial decision? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like at this point, the book was massively successful. Wolfman and Perez, I think, had a lot of creative control over it. I highly doubt they were under any obligation to keep Wally on the team.
It's possible. I mean, here's the thing, though. Len Wein was the editor. It's also possible because we do know they were working on Crisis. They were like, I don't want to say working on Crisis. Crisis was.
There were ideas. There were concepts of a plan, one might say.
Well, no, I would say there were more than concepts of a plan. Like they were.
Well, yeah. We literally had the Monitor show up last time.
Yeah.
So,
I think the Monitor shows up again at some point in this volume.
Yes, most
briefly.
Definitely.
Yeah. Again, another crazy surprise. They were planning Crisis. I have a feeling they didn't quite know exactly when Crisis would be published, and are like, we want to transition Wally from Kid Flash into the Flash.
But it also, like, Crisis wouldn't come out for another 2 years yet. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't start for another 2 years, and it's still published for like a year because it was 12 issues.
Yeah, exactly, 12 issues. But whatever. Anyway, entirely beside the point. We still have some Brotherhood members walking around here. We're going to incapacitate them with what's this one? Phobia, correct? Yeah, Phobia.
Yes.
Yeah, who's going to? I do like this that great little panel on was it page 4 of the issue when she like boxes in Francis, like representing her like claustrophobia. Just a really cool panel. Love that. The implication is that we are able to do this to pretty much the rest of the Titans. We see Wally and Roy are knocked out. Francis is left behind, and everyone else has just gone. Meanwhile, Beast Boy and Terra are here to get Terra a new costume, which she
because Terra really wants to join the Titans.
On standby. But yeah, she wants to join the Titans. I do love the full page of seeing her in the new costume. Very cool stuff.
Here's the thing. She says she sewed it herself. That she originally made 2 costumes. One to wear this is the one that she would wear when she was finally free. And she's free now.
She's free. She's free. She's free.
Also, remember, not even 16 yet.
How many times will they say that until you believe it, Jacob?
I don't believe it because I know what's coming.
You know nothing. Anyway, so let's catch up with Robin and Starfire and Adrian Chase. As we go looking into Bethany Snow, who's totally not evil. They want to know about her actually no, Bethany Snow going to them actually, because she wants to tell them all about Brother Blood and all the things she learned about them.
And then she's totally changed, you guys. He's also has photographic evidence of torture, and it's like, okay, yes. And then it turns out that hey, he's also influencing the government, putting his crony candidates in power in special elections in the next month. I hate that this comic from the early '80s is still relevant today.
Oh, comics. May you never change.
Because here's the thing. Wolfman and Perez, especially in the last volume and in this, kind of intentionally set up Brother Blood's cult as a little bit too outlandish for 1983.
Yeah.
Not quite as outlandish in a lot of ways. Still a little outlandish in some ways. Not quite so outlandish for 2024. Which is a shame.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's an assassination attempt.
Yes. This is shown as a gun, but also there's a fucking explosion then. I don't know what they shoot on this TV set that causes things to explode. But things explode.
So Remembrance of the Daleks.
Yeah, I am aware of it.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. It's one of those Dalek guns, specifically from that story, where there's always explosions when the Daleks fire.
That's fair. Are you telling me that Ben Aronovich was inspired by New Teen Titans? You know what?
I mean, I can't say he wasn't.
Because you actually cannot rule it out, can you?
Aronovich is definitely there's definitely some DC influence. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, anyway, entirely beside the point, we're going to chase down our assassin, but not before we cut over to our good friend Victor Stone as he goes to see his friend Sarah.
Who isn't there?
This is New Year's Eve also, it's important to note. Goes over to her on New Year's Eve. She's not there. And instead, her boyfriend / fiance is
there. Yeah.
Yeah. And says, hey, Sarah's told me all about you. You should stick around. And Vic is rightfully annoyed by this, and this is the scene that you were talking about when you when you came upon this scene, and you just a great take on it. That once again, just Wolfman and Perez treating our characters like mature people, even though Vic is again rightfully annoyed. There's some great inner monologue about
he's annoyed, he's angsty. There's some things revealed about Mark later on that Vic doesn't know about.
There's a big twist on this later on, but
that is like, okay, that changes things a little bit.
It definitely changes things.
As it's set up here, it's like, this is just a normal thing. And Vic has to deal with it himself, and he's going to.
Great scene. Great fucking scene. Meanwhile, we get
a brief thing of I love this half-page scene revealing Bethany Snow's treachery.
Yes. Oh yeah, so good. There's something so wonderful about the change in the way that Perez draws her face from when she's talking to Adrian to when she is when she turns evil when she closes the door.
you know who she kind of looks like when she's evil? This may be a weird cut.
I feel like there's something that is in the back of my mind that's reminding me of, but I can't pinpoint it. What is it, Jacob?
Anita Bryant.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
It's that face and that hair. Like, there's something about it. I'm like,
Yep, that's it. That's exactly it.
it deserves to be pied in the face. Is all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
With that, Vic goes back to the other Titans. We are just sort of catching up with our Titans here. Tara puts in sort of her, I guess, official application, if you will, to become an official Teen Titan.
Except, it turns out not a vote. Beast Boy just made her a member.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
What's interesting though, nobody. Well, the Titans with secret identities don't tell her their secret identity. Like,
Yeah.
it's a bit unfair for poor Gar, Corey, and Vic because they can't really can't really hide that. But yeah, it's there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Terry is taking Donna out to eat on New Year's Eve. And
The Rockefeller Plaza. It's
yeah.
romantic.
Yeah. We also get a bit of Raven at this point in time. She goes out to a cathedral, has this very nice conversation with a priest there that I really like. Where also first off she straight up tells him that she says she's Satan's daughter, and we don't get it. I'm really mad we don't get the time to see the priest actually react to that.
Yeah, because the Brotherhood of Evil is there, and I'm curious to see where that scene would have gone had they not been.
Yeah. Raven fights the Brotherhood. We're sort of starting to ramp up the chaos at the end of the issue as she is attacked by the Brotherhood. The countdown to on New Year's Eve begins to close in, and as the ball is dropping here, nothing happens. It stops moving, and this alarms the Titans and pretty much everyone around there. The Brotherhood attacks the people out in the city. Raven fighting them all this time. The rest of the Titans jump into action. We had a great fight scene, sort of beginning to close out the issue, and as the chaos of this moment ensues, the Brotherhood, do they actually get Raven? No, they don't actually get Raven yet, do they? Or I can't remember.
No, they do.
They do. They steal Raven. While he sees them escape with her, and that would be a great enough cliffhanger on its own. But I love the half page that ends the issue.
Yeah,
Terry and Donna dancing on New Year's Eve. Terry proposes to Donna. And that is the end of the issue. Great moment.
my brain is like, please say yes, please say yes. Like
Okay,
I
but
have
Jacob, you need to. Okay, I know, Jacob. You thought Terry Long was evil. I understand.
I did.
I love this so much. Okay, you need to tell me your mindset when you read this.
Well, here's the thing. My opinion has shifted.
You read this scene, and the next thing you said to me, okay, so Terry's clearly evil, and I was like, what? What are you talking about?
Wait, did I say? Wait.
Yes, because we had a call like a day or two after you read the issue, and I was like, "What's the last thing you read?" You're like, "Oh, the proposal itself." I was like, "Okay, so you haven't seen anything else, and for some reason you think that Terry is evil."
No, that was in response to me. So you haven't seen anything else. The way you said you hadn't seen anything else was in that tone of some twist is coming. I'm like, oh, this is what Terry.
No, you were determined that he was evil before I said that.
Look, here's the thing. I actually really enjoyed what this does for Donna. Like,
oh yeah, totally. It's a great plotline, but for some reason you saw the way the scene was framed, and you're like, Terry must be evil. I think you thought he was like mind controlling Donna or something, right?
Maybe. I don't know where my brain was. Okay.
It's so good.
Like the normal proposal scene in all of comics, but it must be evil. Terry's up to something.
I love it. Anyway, that takes us wonderfully into the New Teen Titans number 31. Lovely cover. I love the blues used throughout this. It's so good. But yeah, we open up where we left off. The Titans, amidst this crowd of people on New Year's Eve, they make their escape and begin to go search for Raven before they go back to Titan's Tower and meet up with Donna. Donna tells them about the proposal. Corey is ecstatic. I love the little scene of her like hugging her and like taking her up into the air as she flies. And Donna like says like, you know, she just needs time to think about it. Great little moment. I don't know. I really love that. But all the Titans still like show their support for her. They're like, hey, you know, we're still just really happy for you. You know, just take the time you need. Do what you can.
Well,
Again,
everyone but Wally, because Wally's being an angsty bastard about Raven.
what a fucking bitch! Get Wally the fuck out of this book. Oh my god.
I'd like us to read some Wally West Flash someday.
I think I want to keep the Wally West hate train going for as long as I can.
Actually, we have friends who have guested on this podcast who will try to murder us if we don't like Wally West.
I think I want to do it specifically because of those people. I'm an agent of chaos, Jacob. You know this. All right.
Dude.
Anyway, Brotherhood. They have Raven. We're gonna use a fetish on Raven.
Try to like get the secret of Brother Blood's powers.
Yes. I don't know why they think Raven is the key to this. To be honest,
is it because she's an empath?
I suppose.
I mean, it allows us to have a 3.5 pages of genuine, horrifying, hellish imagery.
Dude, pages 9 and 10 of this issue are like some of my favorite. Actually, and 11. I forgot I continued there. Some of my favorite imagery in this whole run. It's so fucking good. And oh my god, the fucking foreshadowing on page 12 showing the visage of Wally turning to dust. That literally portraying it, I guess spoilers, portraying it the exact way that Barry dies in Crisis. Like, gorgeous.
Also, it's so fascinating that again, Raven's biggest fear is that that her friends are killed. Like,
and that she is becoming her father. That she is him in some way. Yeah.
And the brother, like, after all of this, they're like, huh, maybe she doesn't know anything.
You're right. They're like, hey, you know, I really don't think that worked.
Like, no, it didn't.
I think this is for real, you guys. We gotta rethink our plan. But we catch back up with the rest of the Titans then. Dick still being an angsty little bitch, and Starfire trying to reach out to him.
There's also then this fascinating scene between Raven, the Brain, and Mala. That like is trying to talk about Raven's humanity and Brother Blood being like worse than the Brotherhood of Evil, which like, yeah, he kind of is. He's got a I don't know. Brotherhood of Evil has literal Nazis, so
yeah,
I shouldn't say.
Yeah. They all use the word ZE instead of THE, so you know they're evil.
Oh no, that's just because Milan and the Brain are French.
I think multiple members of the Brotherhood of Evil do that as well.
This is true, but my joke works because of the French. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Speaking of, how good are the Brain and Milan in My Adventures with Superman?
Yes.
Look, you know that episode?
Completely different portrayal where they are outright protagonists.
Totally different portrayal. But I love that fucking cliffhanger to the one episode in season 2 when the Brain sees... I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but where the Brain sees that thing from the cliffhanger and he's like, man, no. And there's just this fucking cut to black, dude. It's fucking amazing.
Anyway, yeah,
totally beside the point. Amazing. Anyway... the Titans go out. They are stopped by. Who are they stopped by? Wait, I forget what's happening here. I read
an entire volume of the military.
No, okay, yes.
The military of Zandia.
Yes.
Remember, brother has a country.
Jacob, tell me about the culture of Zandia. What's it like? What are its residents like? Tell me all about it. Give me a history lesson.
Well,
oh man. I'm feeling silly on this episode. Anyway, so yeah, they are stopped by the Zandia military. Frances is able to use her powers to disarm all of them. Um, uh, they're being watched by Brother Blood. I keep mixing up Brotherhood of Evil and Brother Blood. It's easy to do. Stop naming your things brother. Anyway, the Titans burst in on the Brotherhood of Evil. They begin to fight them. Lose my voice. That's fine.
And they've already taken Raven to a pit where she can maybe find some solace, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's not. It's. I would say it's genuinely nice, but also it's. They're still evil.
It's the Brotherhood of Evil. They are doing this for their own.
Is that their name? Fuck! I thought they were the Brotherhood of Good. Fuck me. God damn it. Really, fuck my fucking voice. Jeez, I got. This is what I get. This is what I deserve, really. So,
as the Titans come in, Raven gets scared because she thinks her premonition is coming true.
Great little visage of Trigon there that begins to form. So good. Actually, I love that black silhouette behind her with Trigon's like eyes in it. Very cool stuff.
And she starts to like take enjoyment in lashing out.
Yeah,
which is fascinating. So much so that like Donna has to physically get through to her, which is again, great role for Donna Troy as kind of the emotional center of the team.
Yeah.
Such a shame that this, honestly, such a shame the 2003 show did not include Donna Troy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Wonder Woman embargo.
Yet they include Aqualad.
Again, thanks, Wonder Woman embargo.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was also like, I mean, that was all lumped under the Bat embargo, which was like any major DC character showing up in those things. Which is why, when you do eventually watch Justice League Unlimited, Jacob, why there are like pretty much like no Batman characters in that show aside from Batman himself.
Feel some aggression coming to you. I'm in the middle of another show right now.
Yeah. Maybe you should. I don't know. Maybe you should watch Everything Ever, Jacob. Have you considered that?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes. You can be Michelle Yeoh if you really try. I will be. Okay. I will be the Ke Quan to your Michelle Yeoh, Jacob.
We're gonna move on from that because that's the thing. New Teen Titans number 32.
Oh yeah. Oh god, this fucking issue. Fuck me. I fucking hate this issue.
Wait, guys, before we move on to the next issue, we forgot the most important part. Cyborg breaks the guy's fetish.
That's true. You know, if anyone could do it, it's Vic Stone.
He's fetish free.
Yep. Okay, I really hate this next issue. I really do. I love this volume, but I hate this.
Well, I actually liked it. Like,
fuck you. It's not a good issue. Fuck off.
I mean, it's because it's clear that like this is just furthering the parallels of Raven losing her emotions with Thunder and Lightning, two characters who are...
Yeah, it's got the most fucking forgettable characters in any fucking Teen Titans issue ever. Who the fuck are these guys? Fuck these guys.
They come back too.
Fuck these guys. They're awful. I hate them. Tell them to go away forever.
Poor guys.
They deserve nothing. So these two little fuckwits named Thunder and Lightning. I'll give you a fucking like 3 guesses what their fucking powers are. Ooh, it's Thunder and Lightning. Big fucking shocker. So these fucking guys, these fucking Thunder and Lightning fuckwits, they cause Thunder and Lightning, and it terrorizes people, I guess. I don't know.
Well, they're outright looking for their father.
And they need Thunder and Lightning to do this.
Yeah, and they potentially track him down to an apartment building, which they end up destroying because they have this. There's this interesting idea of like this chain reaction of their powers that once they start, they cannot physically stop. And it's eventually gets explained that like they were the results of genetic experiments during the Vietnam War, and they're kind of the end product of imperialism. Not handled in the most delicate of ways. But
is this of this issue can't get any worse. The first time we see the Titans, it's in a scene focusing on Wally fucking West. I'm being needlessly aggressive at this. We do get a nice little retelling of Wally's origin on the following page, though. I do like that.
Again, quite literally, he was at his uncle's lab being doused in the same chemicals that doused Barry Allen.
Gotta love pre-crisis shit. Absolutely insane.
I think that's also his post-crisis origin.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like,
although it's less like complete fucking coincidence post-crisis.
I mean,
It's almost
to play at least a little bit of devil's advocate, this was a Silver Age origin, so like,
yeah,
it's a little silly.
What was that, Andrew? Though?
Oh, I said his post-crisis is a little more like mystical. Like that's when the Speed Force is involved and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. Here it's just like, what's that? The exact same way that Barry Allen got his powers happened to Wally West? What?
I mean, that would make the third person who was working in a lab near chemicals that got struck by lightning and given speed powers.
But yeah, we go back to the tower. Dick is still being angsty, and Corey and Donna don't know what to do about it. Fran has to leave, so Wally says goodbye to her. Wait, what's that?
I thought Roy Harper did nothing wrong. Can you read what happened to you, Joey?
Yeah. What does Roy do, Joey?
Wait, you're right. Okay, look, he gets what he deserves for this. Okay, Roy Harper can do nothing wrong, and when he does something wrong, like a little asterisk on the end, when he does something wrong, he gets what he deserves for it. But he hardly ever does anything wrong.
That's a far cry from the never you said earlier.
Yeah,
fine. I will defend it. I don't think you want me to, but I can defend it. Do we want?
Let's not even go down this route.
Exactly. You don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear how perfect Roy Harper is. That's exactly it. You don't want to know how amazing he is. And look, I think for every damn near sexual assault that Roy Harper commits in his life, he has kissed Jason Todd about as many times, and I think that balances out the universe somehow.
Kissing Jason Todd is like karmic balance.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Truth be told, I totally forgot that scene ever happened, to be honest here. So yeah, that's uncomfortable. Anyway, so fucking Thunder and Lightning, my guys, they're fucking fighting the military, and they can't control their powers. Ooh, boo-hoo, little fuckwits can't control their powers. Meanwhile, fucking Tara is that's right. I love, actually, this is a great scene. Tara invites Vic to go see Friday the 13th part 13. Apparently everyone dies in this one. And Vic says he'll wait for the next Star Wars pick instead. So this was out in like mid 83, so like Return of the Jedi was already out, but also might have been written like, I guess
this takes place in early '83 though, because we're only a couple issues after the New Year's issue, and
yeah, exactly. So I like to imagine when Vic saw Return of the Jedi, he really loved it, and he loved the Ewoks especially.
I mean, what's not to like about the Ewoks?
A lot of people at the time hated the Ewoks. Apparently, I don't know. I don't get it.
Look. Here's the thing. I'm not going to give my Star Wars opinion about Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi is the best Star Wars film, period.
I disagree there, but
it is, though.
It has some of the best Star Wars scenes.
That was another thing. In Skeleton Crew, they brought back the one random ass Ewok, little Ewok man from the Ewok movie Battle for Endor.
That is a choice.
Yeah, Skeleton Crew is a wild show, man.
Anyway, Speedy calls the Titans to go fight Thunder and Lightning. So we're going to do that. Dick is also missing, and Dick is going to be missing for like
quite a while.
I mean, yeah, he's kind of in and out this for good reason.
It's not bad though. Like it's not bad. Like I don't know. The team works really well without him.
I mean, it works because I think maybe one one thing later writers, as far as I can get the vibe of from with my own very limited experience in terms of writing the Titans, kind of leaning too hard in it being a bat book in focusing on our Robin character, where it's like,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
our Robin character should get focus, but it's also a team book. All the other characters need to have equal focus and get their own development and be just as important.
But Jacob, I love Damian Wayne and the Teen Titans fighting the League of Assassins. I legally can't hate that. That's so fucking good.
Again, I don't want to say it's not done well. It's just it's a thing that can be a problem.
To be fair, I think most Titans comics I've read, and I've read literally everyone from like 20, like the mid like New 52 stuff onwards. There's the bat connections just aren't that strong, to be honest. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Anyway, so fucking Thunder and Lightning. Time to fight Thunder and Lightning. These little bitch boys.
It's good action. It's good action. Let's be honest.
That's all it is, though. It's just fucking action. It does nothing.
And we get their backstory.
We get the backstories where ooh boo-hoo, they were experimented on. Ooh, poor little bitch boys. What are they gonna do about it?
It's the plot. It's kind of the plot of Miss Saigon. Kind of.
But ooh, poor little bitch boys. Anyway, sorry, I don't like this issue, man. I can't get into it.
Well, I mean, the Titans eventually help them, and
because they're like slowly dying or something.
Slowly dying. Their dad's dead, so it's like, well, in the end, it's like, well, let's just take them to Star Labs and see if we can at least stabilize their genetic code or whatever. Which is a nice enough ending. It's a nice enough ending.
Joey, do you remember that they adapted this specific issue into an episode of the 2003 cartoon?
Apparently not. Apparently, I have thankfully wiped that from my mind.
I think you should watch it and tell us your thought.
I would love to do that. Actually, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make that a bonus episode where it's just me bitching into a microphone for like an hour straight. I imagine the episode's actually pretty good. Anyway, it probably is. Anyway, and that's the issue. Let's get into something much better. This is actually, I do really like this one.
This is
number 33.
This is the one that surprised me with. Okay, yeah, like it surprised me because again, this was also where I'm like, oh, this is where we are definitely getting lead up to Nightwing, like definitely. But it's also a really
it's
fun,
just a cool story on its own. It's really cool.
It's kind of a let's try to do a murder mystery, but like, I mean, I guess my one critique is we don't.
I mean, the twist is really obvious at a certain point in the issue.
The twist is obvious, but it's a fun enough twist, and it works for a single issue of a comic of a comic book that has 25-ish pages, give or take one or two.
But this is Who Killed Trident, who it's a very obscure DC Comics character. Aqualad comes across the body of Trident and brings him to the surface, and they unmask him and they try to find out who killed Trident. And so the next day, when the Titans are all hanging out in the swimming pool in the tower, they're all like, "Hey, I encountered Trident once before, and this is the story of how it happened." So first we get like Beast Boy and Cyborg fighting Trident, and the thing is that like each time each of these Titans like encountered Trident, he was acting like radically different from the other stories in which they encountered Trident. It's a cool setup. In the middle of it all, Starfire is actually going to Wayne Manor because Dick has been gone for a while now. Starfire goes to Wayne Manor and encounters one little Jason Todd. Ginger hair and all. Ginger Jason Todd is slightly cursed. But Ginger Jason Todd
did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong.
He did nothing wrong, mostly because he literally doesn't exist anymore. But Ginger Jason Todd, I suppose, didn't do anything wrong. He answers the door, and Alfred is there as well. And Starfire's like, "I thought Dick might be here because he hasn't been with us for a while." And Alfred's like, "Nope, he hasn't been here at least."
He moved. Dick actively moved out of the manor when Jason moved in, which is interesting. again, makes me fascinated to see what happens when Dick and Jason like get interactions, which I was kind of hoping we'd get. We don't get them here.
Not here, yeah. Starfire leaves, and then we continue with the stories of like people that encountered Trident. We have like Raven and Donna taking on Trident. Then we have the story. Then we catch up with Dick, actually, who is hanging out with Adrian Chase, and they are staking out the mansion of, I forget the guy's name.
Garapelli.
That's it, Scarapelli.
Basically, yeah, we are following up from the Runaways stuff, which, let's be honest, the Runaways issues really clearly shook Dick Grayson to his very core. Like,
yeah.
It's definitely a catalyst for him pushing away from Batman's methods and trying his hardest to do better. Often doing worse. Then we get, the third Trident story with Wally and Tara, which is an interesting team up. Like,
yeah. The two least likable Titans right now. But yeah, and yeah, again, the thing is that his Trident is acting different each time, and so the Titans are able to put together that each Trident was a different person, and so they
specifically Starfire. Starfire's the only one who's able to put this together.
And so we go find the other two Tridents, because obviously the third one is dead. We find those Tridents, we fight them briefly, we capture them, and then we end the issue with Dick and Adrian storming Scarapelli's house. They break through his window, they break in, and that is where the issue ends. It's a really tense scene with like barely any dialogue or narration. It's just a really well drawn page with a lot of like small panels.
Again, George Perez does not mince.
Is George Perez a good artist, Jacob?
Yes, he is. We've said that multiple times.
I don't know, Jacob. I'm beginning to doubt this. I don't know if George Perez is a good artist. I don't know.
Well, you see, he draws in that old style of comic drawing.
Yeah.
I swear I've seen that as a criticism. I'm almost certain I've seen that as a genuine criticism somewhere.
It's insane too, because like Perez is so much of like what people think of as like the older way of drawing comics, or at least like this, like the early modern age of drawing comics. I think George Perez just is what people think of when they think of that style. What a fucking guy. Anyway, New Teen Titans number 34, Trouble is Spelled Terminator. Slade Wilson is back.
And he bought Atari, apparently.
Yes. God damn it. But yeah, we catch up with Slade Wilson after quite some time. Who is putting together a new plan. And coincidentally, we also immediately cut over to
Mind you, his plan is I want a plan to murder the Titans because they didn't do anything to me, really. I kind of brought this on myself, but I hate them.
Yeah.
Because he's petty.
Yeah, we catch up with Tara then, who the Titans surprise with a birthday cake, and they sing happy birthday to her. And Tara is 16 now, and I don't know. That's a good thing, right?
It's genuinely a nice moment that Tara herself ruins by being like,
Tara immediately ruins it, is like, well, maybe I could enjoy this moment if you all would fucking talk to me for once, and
make me a full member and tell me your secret identities.
Yeah. I love that every single thing she said, just ended with it, and tell me your secret identities, and it just like doesn't even mention it.
Tell me your secret identities.
That was just really funny. Meanwhile, Dick Grayson and Adrian Chase are being. I keep calling him Dick. He's doing this all as Robin, importantly. They take Scarapelli. They arrest him. And they take him in. The Titans are talking with Tara then, and they're like, "Hey, we want to tell you our identities, but we just can't be entirely sure yet."
Also, because if we tell you our identities, then you'll know who other superheroes are. Like,
yeah. It's a big deal.
Donna has
Shortly-
also decided, she's going to accept Terry's proposal.
Yeah, it's nice that there's the sense of like time having passed since it happened, and so it's nice that Donna actually like took the time to think about it, because a lot of Donna's like apprehension was in that like she wanted to like have a life carved out for herself before she settled down with someone, and she kind of felt that she wasn't able to do that, but now she's had time to think about it, and now she's changed her mind on that. It's very nice. It's just, I don't know, just real human emotions. It's nice. Crazy, I know. Anyway, the Terminator. I guess we have to keep calling him the Terminator. He's not officially just Deathstroke yet, is he?
Yeah, that won't happen until 1984 or 85 because.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
I wonder why. I love this first page though. The fucking binocular, the lenses like looking on the crowd, just fantastic. I love that. But Terry then we catch up with Terry, who is teaching a class at the moment. There's a student that is most definitely hitting on him the second that Donna walks in wearing a ring, and just incredibly funny moment. I love that.
But then we get some nice romantic scenes of them essentially out together.
There's a nice little panel where there's like the old couple like looking at them as they're just like talking to each other and in love. And I don't know, I just kind of get the feeling that those old people are designed after people that either Wolfman and Perez knew in real life. I don't know, they just have like kind of specific designs in my mind.
Very specific, but also there's this thing where Donna's like, it's like, can we wait a little bit? I will get married, but I'd like to get married and know my true parents. Which that'll be interesting. We'll put a pin in that for a future volume.
Yeah. But yeah, we get some more Terra being angsty with the Titans, and then Gar answers the phone in the tower. Call from Sarah, who is looking for Vic because, how to talk about this tactfully? Sarah's in an abusive relationship, and
also isn't so much in an abusive relation. Well, is being
that's definitely what's
abused.
happening. Yeah,
like she is being abused. She has tried to cut it off with this guy. It's made very clear, and he will not leave her alone.
Yeah. I do love where the Sarah scene ends though, with sort of like what's his name, Mark, right? Yeah, Mark being sort of like kicked out on his ass, and Sarah actually like fighting back. Like I don't know, I just love seeing that. She's not like completely helpless in that moment.
And it feels the last panel feels like some really biting commentary on the position of women in society. That like this janitor passing by sees this and only can comments, "Tough cookie, eh?" Like,
so you like to kick butts, do you? I shouldn't mean to laugh at that. I totally mean to laugh at that. What am I saying? Anyway, so then the Teen Titans, specifically Beast Boy and Terra, are contacted by Deathstroke, or sorry, the Terminator, who has captured who the fuck is this guy? I forget. He's just someone. Who the fuck is he?
He has captured, just a stockbroker. Like,
okay, you know what? I want to see the version of this story where they're like, it's a fucking stockbroker, kill him. You know. Although I guess knowing Beast Boy, I guess that's not entirely out of the
I mean, this is also the issue where we get, it turns out, surprise. This is all a setup.
Shush, Jacob, shush! You don't know any of that yet. Spoilers.
Spoilers for the end of this issue.
As we're in the middle. Don't spoil things, Jacob. Damn, have more respect. Anyway, So he threatens this guy and he says dares the Titans to come out and stop him.
Terra knocks Beast Boy out.
Yes, in the hopes of proving herself to the Titans. Sorry, proving herself to the Titans. Massive quotes. Wally sees her leaving to go fight Deathstroke. I really love. Okay, what is our suspension of disbelief here? Because there's some dialogue at the end here that at the end of the issue that like waves away this scene, but like the fight eventually like completely leaves the stockbroker's office, and like it's just Slade and Tara alone, and like I don't know.
The idea, like, it's
How much
lampshade that it's
how,
like,
how much do they need to pretend here, really?
Well, some of the thoughts in their heads kind of hint at it. Like this right
Yeah.
here, you take it. He says, "There she is again, not giving me a moment to catch my breath." And you could take that as like the villain's tired out by the hero, but you could also take it like, okay, just like we said, she's not letting me catch my breath. We're putting on a big old show.
Yeah, yeah. That's fair. But also, it is also 2 entire pages where there is nobody else around. So I don't know.
and like like when the other Titans like show up, there's an updraft, and you know they end up fighting the Terminator incredibly well. Like it wraps up pretty. It has to wrap up pretty quick because
Yeah.
we're also just, it's the problem of we're running out of issue, guys.
Yeah. Hence why we're also setting up an annual by the end of this issue. So we can give ourselves even more time. But yeah, they're able to stop the Terminator, and Tara proves herself, and the Titans make her an official Teen Titan, and Tara is welcomed into the team. Just in time for Tara to return home to meet a shadowy figure in her apartment, take off her mask, and say, "They swallowed everything. They didn't know it's all been a setup. They didn't suspect the terrorists worked for you. They didn't suspect that I've been planted in their stupid group. And they certainly didn't suspect our whole fight was worked out in advance. Terminator, you pulled off a convincing death." That's Tara's official canon voice, by the way. Yeah. Tara and Slater working together. You can all actually.
Okay, I imagine it was a genuine shock. Like
Genuine shock. Great fucking twist. Fucking revolutionary.
It's a shame that I knew about it going in. Like,
yeah.
Like
actual shit.
But it's one of those things where it's like, I watched the Teen Tart. I know I watched the Terror episode. Of the
You watched the Teen Tart. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway. Okay. Yes. Man, I sure hope there's not any weird sexual tension between these guys in a comic or any potential adaptation of a comic. Anyway, so Robin gets mad at Adrian for sort of working outside of the law to get Scarapelli.
And the fact that like Scarapelli has been released and Dick's been used by Adrian Chase. So he storms out. We have a very brief moment between Chase and his wife. It's like, oh, your Uncle Arthur sent Adam that clown for his birthday. It's nice, isn't it? It's like wait, I don't have an Uncle Arthur. We end on their apartment fucking exploding. Like,
insane cliffhanger, amazing cliffhanger, such a great fucking cliffhanger, and it all gets followed up, rightfully so, in a double-length annual. This is the New Teen Titans Annual number 2 and the end of today's collection. Here we go. First off, the promise of this mysterious figure on the cover that, much like our Tara twist, Jacob, you already knew about, I believe.
I already knew.
Does complicate things, though, when you consider the cliffhanger of the previous issue, I suppose.
Yeah, because I'm like, my brain was like, oh, they're going to be making this be a true twist where you genuinely think Adrian Chase is dead.
They don't quite go that far. However, they do kill Adrian's entire family, which is, my God, that's dark. Like, really fucking dark.
Yeah. And
like, kids are dead too. Like, that's really fucking dark. I don't know.
But here's the thing. The annual like perfectly captures sort of that chaos in the wake of tragedy of rushing to the hospital. We see flashes of news reports cutting in. We see
Bethany Snow like trying to like interview Robin and like him lashing out at the news crew. I just the chaos of that moment is, like you said, it's so well done.
Well, interestingly, this isn't Bethany Snow. This is a different reporter. Like,
oh, is it?
Yeah, this is Sandy Bay.
Oh shit! What a name.
Like this is again the chaos of the moment. Like Robin's coming in and uh, he makes a comment about that, Adrian Chase is a dedicated man who's got tired of seeing a creep with a buckbeat beat the legal system. Uh, like we don't know if he said we get this very brief moment with Scarapelli, and okay, this is
the old lady mob. Is that what we're about to talk about?
yeah, who is kind of chilling, like.
Also
This is-
incredibly funny because old lady mob.
Yes, she is literally the Donna, like of the mob.
Yes.
And it's like we found out, oh, surprise, his wife and kids are dead. Um, and like there's time in the efforts trying to make statements. Hera gets a genuinely good quip in of being
Oh
brought
yeah.
in. It's
Excuse me.
like,
Are you one of the Titans?
no, I'm Snow White, and these are my 7 dwarfs.
Very fun. Very, very fun line.
Yeah,
yeah.
so much of this is reporters and seeing the chaos. And like the idea is, will Chase pull through? We don't know.
Yeah.
We then
ready for the
get
the biggest fucking left turn for this to take. So Scarapelli and the mob are in contact with aliens. Not just any aliens. People that work for the Monitor.
And this is where we get the name. I imagine the Monitor the first time because he wasn't
the first time that
named.
he's ever actually mentioned, that he's ever actually named. Yeah. And also Lila here, who I mean, look, genuine character from Crisis on Infinite Earths. But every time I see this anymore, because I've now watched all of Arrow and the corresponding crossover events, the fucking shit they do with this character in the Arrowverse is
right, because
insane.
they tried to adapt Crisis.
And they did try to adapt Crisis. And it's the stupidest fucking thing. There had been a character in Arrow since I want to say the first season. It might have been the second season. Like Diggle's ex-wife or something.
Oh no!
Who was named Lila. And they made her this fucking character. It was insane. It was absolutely insane, and the most Arrowverse shit you ever heard of. Absolutely insane. Anyway, time to contact the Monitor and get Scarapelli the help that he needs. Meanwhile, the Titans are being questioned by the law about their. Robin is being questioned by the law with his involvement in the Adrian Chase Scarapelli case. Robin then just straight up ignores all of this and goes to interrogate Scarapelli.
An Italian restaurant.
Yes.
And Dick throws it back, the whole fuck your restraining order back in their face, and it's a great scene.
Oh yeah, yeah, great.
And also, this is what gets Starfire to be like, hey, don't do anything you regret, but also I'm deeply in love with you, and you should also lose restraint, and you also clearly love me. And so they then get this great scene on a roof together, and it's great, but they're being targeted by someone. And this is where we then get our first act of the vigilante.
Yes.
The assassin.
The guy that is watching them gets killed by this vigilante. Is sent back. His body is sent back to Scarapelli, and then Robin goes to the Titans and goes to enlist their help. They take a vote. Everyone agrees with him. Also, Raven is still missing, and Raven is still dealing with her own shit right now. Massive-
She's gone to Azarath.
Yes, and goes to find some answers. She is sent away almost immediately.
Because she has Trigon's like soul inside of her.
Yes. And so she just goes, and that's the scene.
It's genuinely quite tragic. Like,
yeah. We then get a scene of various Titans going out, teaming up, and finding other mob members connected to Scarapelli throughout all this. They're taking down Scarapelli's support system within the mob. It is then at this point that the Monitor begins sending out requests to get people to help Scarapelli. I just have to wonder what Wolfman and Perez's original ideas for the Monitor were, because like this is just not the same kind of shit that the Monitor is up to by the time we actually see him in Crisis. Like he's not just like sending out pretty much bounty hunter contracts to various people. That's just not it. Whatever. Anyway, he puts together a team to help Scarapelli. Mostly these little one-off characters, including a straight-up racist. But also the first ever appearance of, I'm pretty sure this is the first ever appearance of a character known as Cheshire, who, Jacob, I don't know if you have any familiarity with. Was she in the Teen Titans cartoon? I can't remember.
She was for like half a minute in one episode. It's like a little cameo.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. What cartoon was she in a lot that I'm trying to remember? She was in Young Justice a lot, that's right.
Doesn't she have a connection to Roy Harper, or am I thinking
Oh, very much
something
so.
else?
Oh yeah, big time. Big time. Yeah. Yeah, we got our little team together. The Titans then regroup, and they are attacked by the Monitor's team, working for Scarapelli now. Great action sequence that breaks out here. We get little like character interactions between each of the Titans and these other people that the Monitor has enlisted here. I love that the
Cheshire's design is probably the most fun of them all. Like, it's very.
Oh, yeah. You can see why like Cheshire is like the only character here that really went on to do anything more outside of this.
Is the breakout character.
Yeah, exactly. That said, I love what ends up happening to the racist character, because he is, in addition to being a guy that's trying to kill the Teen Titans, he's also just racist to Vic throughout all this, and his own other black team members. Like, it's this guy gets exactly what he deserves. It's nice. It's nice to see. In that most of these guys, I think all of these guys, most of these guys at least, end up getting killed by Vigilante. Vigilante comes in and begins murdering people left, right, and center. Meanwhile, a fire has broken out at this place where the fight is happening, so the news begins like reporting on it. We've taken down pretty much like all of Scarapelli's like support and supplies that he's using to like for his operation.
We have the Donna literally being like, "Well, we need to punish him because this is the mob."
Yes.
And then as he approaches her, Raven shows up, basically to say, "Hey, Scarapelli's planning to destroy you all, and like is going to do it with the help from someone from outer space."
Okay, I just have to know. Okay, we haven't really interrogated this much up until this point. How does Scarapelli know the Monitor? What is happening here?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Look. Here's the thing. I am willing to suspend my disbelief because this ridiculousness is just, I don't know, like, some of the way that Wolfman and Perez do it that, like, you just kind of buy it. Like, it's utterly insane, and it makes no sense when you interrogate it.
It doesn't make it any less weird, like.
But it still works, kind of.
Yeah, I guess. anyway, our Titans then arrive and take on our forces that the Monitor has sent out to work for Scarapelli. These are different forces from the people that the Monitor hired before. Meanwhile, Vigilante enters Scarapelli's private office, unmasks himself for Scarapelli, revealing himself to be the one and only Adrian Chase. Robin enters the scene, confronts Adrian for taking the law into his own hand. Great standoff here. I fucking love this scene.
Tries to talk him down, doesn't. Scarapelli gets a gun.
Tries
able to shoot.
He tries to kill Adrian and Robin.
Adrian is able to get a firing off, and it's like
it kills Scarapelli. Robin is left unconscious, and Adrian escapes. And in these closing moments, as we get our final couple of news broadcasts here, Robin covers for Adrian. He claims he does not know who this vigilante was, and that he covers for Adrian. He does not reveal what happened to him. Fascinating moment, and a great note to end this volume on, I think.
Such a good ending. Such a good volume.
Such a good volume. Great volume. Minus that fucking Thunder and Lightning issue. What the fuck was that? It's not a good issue. Anyway, otherwise, great volume. And I believe you said, Jacob, this is your favorite volume of the
honestly,
so far.
It slightly edges out volumes 2 and 3, which were my previous favorites. I mean, again, it's hard because the weakest volume was actually the first volume, and that was still a pretty damn good time.
Yeah. I don't know. I still think 2 is probably the weakest up to this point.
I really like 2 though.
It's almost like they're all good.
It's almost like this is a fantastic run, and
almost like this is a landmark run for just the comics industry in general. Yeah, it's great. Needless to say, of course, it's great. But all that said, closing thoughts from either Jacob or Andrew, whoever wants to speak.
Andrew, you go first because I've dominated a lot of this conversation.
Okay, so yeah, I think this is a great volume. I think I like 3 and 4 maybe a tad more, but this is setup and really, really good setup at that.
Mm. I think I think obviously we're setting up big Judas contract things, but even aside from that, they're just great stories on their own. I'm a huge fan of this volume.
Yeah, you can feel everything ramping up, and I have a feeling like Volume 6 is somehow going to ramp up even more, because I feel like there are other plots to do before you get to Judas Contract,
most definitely.
Donna clearly has a plot working in her favor, and obviously, I know that Dick becomes Nightwing in the middle of Judas Contract, and we need to get there. We're clearly on the way there, especially with where that annual ended. But we're not there yet. So that's fascinating. It's been such an amazing time.
Yeah, it's been awesome. But this time will not continue. At least not in the next episode. We'll get back to the Teen Titans eventually. Next time, of course, as we already mentioned, we are continuing our John Ostrander Suicide Squad run. We're reading volumes 3 and 4 across the next 2 episodes, which will take us across the end of this year and into early 2025. God, saying that out loud is weird. we're recording this in very early December. That sounds really weird to say. But yeah, and then of course be on the lookout because we have more DC books coming up. So be on the lookout for all that when that is all announced. All right, let's close things out. Let's do some promotions. Andrew, what do you got going on?
On my Blue Sky, you can follow me at Andrew Doing Art.
You've been doing quite a lot of art recently.
It's true.
Yep.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. As always, I'll leave your Blue Sky linked in the description below. You can follow Andrew over there. Jacob, what do you have going on?
I have mainly my blog where I have been reviewing most recently Star Trek: The Next Generation, with a currently very rocky season 1.
What are you
Time of
talking
recording.
about? What are you
At the time of
talking
recording,
about?
I have done the first 3 episodes, but by the time you're seeing this, I will have finished what's technically episode 5
Yeah.
for reviews.
What is 5? The last outpost, or the last something? It's the last something.
I believe it's The Last Outpost.
Yeah, that's the name. Okay, that was actually really good. Yeah, it's a good one, I swear. So yeah, check that out over there. I'll leave Jacob's link tree in the description below. You can follow him wherever you want to follow him. And as far as me and the channel goes, I also do Star Trek reviews with my brother. We'll be at the same point in Star Trek Next Generation. The Last Outpost will be out, and of course, as always, if you want to watch our Star Trek videos a week early, you can join our Patreon at the Ensign tier. It's only $2, and you get all of our Star Trek videos a week in advance. Also, what else do I have going on? Oh yeah, podcast things. Fresh Face One Shots, our spinoff where we cover current comics that we're reading. We cover Superman by Joshua Williamson, Wonder Woman by Tom King, Batman: The Brave and the Bold by Various, because it's an anthology, and it's coming up on its end very soon. Actually, last issue is coming out at the end of this month, so that's sad.
Sad.
We're also covering Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween. I know I was making fun of that full title when we first started covering it, but I've gotten so used to saying it that I really just can't call it The Last Halloween anymore. We're covering that. We're also covering The Uncanny X-Men by Gail Simone, which is currently crossing over with X-Men by Jed MacKay, with a crossover event called Raid on Grey Malkin.
I think half of that should be out by now. At least
about half. That sounds about right. Yeah.
At least the first issue one shot is out for sure.
Yeah. So we're covering all that. Check all those out. Also on the channel, R2BD is a show that we do. Me and my brother do Star Wars things. We should have another episode coming out later this month. We did put one out last month, covering a bunch of Clone Wars things. Next up, we have a bit of a Han and Leia themed episode that I'm very excited about. So check that out when that's out. I think otherwise, that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, cool. Wherever you're listening to us, be sure to leave a rating and subscribe. You can comment on Spotify. That's a thing you can do apparently. Leave a rating wherever you're listening to us. A high rating is preferred, of course. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, Blooded Studios. Any and all support means the absolute world to us. And I think that about does it. So thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, this has been Joey Morgan,
Jacob Licklider,
And Andrew.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.